Alright! Hello! Good morning, baby girls, baby boys. It's 3 a.m. Therefore it's vlog time, and my name again this is your Hey Jude. Don't make it bad. Welcome to my channel. This is Hey Jude channel. And as usual, because I don't have anything to do on my rest day on a weekday and thin. And I'm bored. Anyways, so because I don't have anything to do, I think it's but time that I discuss to you or I make a content about what I said before. People are so excited and would always ask would always be asked by people, oh, where's your video about this? You said that you're gonna post it. For those that have been so adamant in asking me to make this video, then this is the video that you've been waiting for. Okay? Alright, so this video is especially dedicated to all the people who are working tirelessly at night in the sunshine industry. Yes, they call it sunshine industry before, but now we commonly call them or refer them over as call center agents. So I am talking about those hard-working people and passionate people in the call center industry. Hello. So I am making this video because today marks my 7th year as a team manager. Also, today, also in a few weeks before, it was my 9th year anniversary in the industry. So I am making this video at 3 a.m. in the morning because that's our way of life already. So I have had this lifestyle for several years already. 9 years to be exact. Oh, 9 years. Buti pa sa call center. Long term. May pangmatagalan. Well, anyways, so I would be discussing, I'm not sure if it's a very sensitive topic for some, but normally I am gonna be discussing something that people might find it a bit disturbing. I'm not sure. I don't have a catchphrase for that, but I think this topic is kind of sensitive, especially for those that have been working for the longest time. And what I'm gonna be sharing on those videos might be stuff that they had been doing. And I'm not saying that I am saying, for lack of a better term, I think that grammatically it's wrong because there are certain rules that we need to observe. But I think the intention of this video is to help people out. Okay, so I'm not gonna bash anyone around there. You can bash me about the content of this video, but the intention of this video is always to help people out. Okay, because it's by request that people said already that you have been lecturing this and have been continuously posting this through your Facebook. Why not use your YouTube platform to educate people, because it might reach more views, and in a way it might extend to those that would be viewing your video. So now I'm gonna be discussing the common, okay, I'm not saying that everyone is at fault at this, common grammatical errors or slips. I'm just saying, yeah, slips that most of the call center people are committing that they're not aware of. I'm not sure if they're aware of, but I think it's just a way of life already. So I just want to make sure that everyone knows that, because they're doing it already. I would always say this to my team: because you're doing it already, try to make sure that you do it right. Because if you do things right, you can never go wrong. Okay. All right, good. Now, again, the topic for today's video is common grammatical errors people are committing, or people tend to commit when they are taking in calls, or sometimes when they are doing or responding to their emails or chat. Okay, good. Now, the first one, are you ready? The first one is using can you be able to in one sentence. So I would always hear people saying, yeah, I can be able to do it. I can be able to send this to you. Or they would say to somebody over the phone, or can you be able to give me the details of your card and whatnot. So, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, can and be able to has the same meaning. That means that you can remove either one of them and still make sense and still make the same meaning out of your sentence. But it's redundant to use both words in one sentence that means the same thing. So parang paulit-ulit tayo sa kailangan nating sabihin pero we mean the same thing. So to lessen your effort, wow, Pillar. To lessen your effort and to reduce your error a bit in using those things. So for example, if you wanted really to correct it, if you ask me, so how do you correct it? So you just correct it. If those two should not be in one sentence, then you use it in two different sentences. So if you say, yeah, I can do that, or can you do this for me, or yeah, I am able to do it, or are you able to do it on your own? So that means that we cut the sentences. So if we are tempted to say, I can be able to do that, you say just, yeah, I can do that, or yeah, I'm able to do it, or I'm able to do that. Yeah, sort of like that. So can be able, again, can and able has the same meaning. So that means that we can do away with using both in one sentence, like in a complete sentence, right? We know what the sentence is. A sentence expresses a complete thought, so it has to have a subject, a predicate, and a linking verb. So normally that is the definition of a sentence. So in one sentence, that means that you should not be putting can and be able in one sentence, okay? So that you would be grammatically correct and would not appear to be redundant. Very good. All right. Now, second, when we use the word did, D-I-D, okay, did in a sentence, and we follow it with a verb is an action word, correct? So we know it already, unless you have not been listening to your teachers in English. Well, so shout out pala sa lahat ng teachers ko in English. I think I have learned a lot from you guys, and I thank you. I am who I am today, and I have learned what I have learned today because of you guys, and so I thank you for all the mentors that I have. Well, anyways, going back to our topic, did. So if we use the word did, people would always say, did you bought this? Did you brought that? Did you ate? Did you played? Ladies and gentlemen, if we use the word did, it has to be followed by the base form of the verb. So what's the base form of the verb? The base form of the verb is the most simple form of the verb. It's simplest form. That means that we have not added yet the ed, we have not added yet the ing, we have not added the s. Yeah, catch his. He was playing. Yeah, correct. So she plays. Yeah, correct. So if the base form, sorry for that. Yes, that's in it. Anyway, so going back to did plus the base form verb. So if, for example, we want to correct some things there, if we're going to use did and we will be following it with the verb, that means that it has to be followed by the base form of the verb. So how do we correct the sentence or the phrases that I had recently? So instead of saying did you brought that, you say did you buy that. If you if you said like did you brought that, that means that did you bring it, or did you bring that, or did you bought that, that means that did you buy that. So did plus base form verb. Did you play? Did you eat? Did you not eat? No, so that's not something that we need to do. Okay? So wag masyadong obsessed sa past tense. Ayan naman tayo. Everyone's so obsessed with past tense that they don't care about the present. I think that's one lesson we have to learn too, that sometimes we always look back at the things that had happened to us in the past that are not so good that we forget to actually see the good things that we have now. So I think that's one thing that we have to learn. Also, in relation to did plus the base form of the verb. So always make sure that when you use the word did, again, D-I-D, it has to be followed by the base form of the word. Did be. That means did plus the base form of the word. Okay? Good. Now, number three. Number three is, I always hear this from people. So for example, you hear people, common grammatical error. So, and I think it's just a matter of using the words and understanding what it meant. Okay, normally that's where the fault is. We don't understand what the word really means, but we still use it because it sounds good. But if we write it down, really, it's not appropriate that we need to mix those words. So, I can't barely hear you. Okay, that's the third thing. When you're not hearing somebody, and I said this already, that people had said that you have been constantly flooding people on your Facebook post about this and you want to reach out. So if you want to reach out a greater audience, and I think because you have a vlog, then it's time that you use that platform to educate people about it. Okay, so what's wrong with can't barely hear you? Okay, so in English or in grammar, normally if you use two negative words in one sentence, and if you want to read it out, like the meaning of that, all you need to do is to cross out all negative things that you said, and then that's the meaning of it. So if you say, I can't barely hear you, barely and hear are two negative words. So if you cross them out, that means that the sentence would be left at, I am hearing you, right? So that means that if we use I can't barely hear you, and really we can't hear somebody over the phone, then the correct sentence is, I can barely, can without the T, okay? I can barely hear you, or much more, I think, just so that it would not fall into that trap, don't use them both in one sentence. So it's like, I cannot hear you, so you don't use the barely. Or if you want to use the word barely because it sounds good, parang hindi everyday nagagamit ang word na barely, then you use I am barely hearing you. Again, you can say I can barely hear you, but I think for us not to fall again into that trap of using can't barely in one sentence, better separate them. Okay? Huwag pagsamahin. If you think naman talaga that it would arise conflict, then wag mo nang pagsamahin. I think that's one thing that we have to learn too in life. Oh, may mga life lessons naman si Madam. Anyways, so yan. If we think that it's gonna complicate it, do not add it. Do not add fuel into the fire. Do not raise that question. Maybe some other time you can use it, especially if you know already how to use it. But for the meantime, if you're not unsure, or if you are not unsure, ayan na naman, mali din yan. If you say you're not unsure, that means that you are sure. So if you are unsure of the results when joining two things together, then just don't mix them up, or don't do it. Okay, so just choose one. I can not hear you, so I can't hear you, or I am barely hearing you. But if you're good already and you think that you would not mix them up, then you can say I can barely hear you. Okay, good. Now number 4. Number 4 is not just, I'm not sure if this is really a grammatical error. Okay, I admit that during the stay that I had with the call center industry, I have met some people who are so good at enunciating words. And I have some thoughts on that, and forgive me for saying this because this is my vlog, this is my channel, this is my content. I just want to say this. Please do not compromise the structure and the content of your sentence by overdoing enunciating. Like for example, you overpronounce words like that. Like for example, may mga words naman talagang hindi na kailangan maglagay ng ed, nilalagyan natin kasi it sounds social. Like for example, can you get the box in the so the box is a noun. if it's a noun, then it does not have a tense. It doesn't have a past tense. So can you, unless you say, can, I think the balikbayan boxes had been boxed. That means that's okay. But can you please get the box? In this sentence, it's a noun. Can you please get the boxed? Oh my God! Please don't be so obsessed with using ed and t's, because again, I said that earlier, that it destroys the meaning of what we say. So again, I'm not saying that it really is a grammatical slip, but and if it's just a matter of over enunciating, then I think it's high time for us already to be very careful to when to use the T sound to express, because normally if there's a T sound, it expresses, it would always indicate that the what we are saying is in past tense normally. Okay, so for example, the fourth is, can you please close this? Oh my God. Hi. So you can say, if you are requesting something to be done today, you don't put it in past tense. Siyempre, paano papatay ng ilaw kung patay na, di ba? O, paano mo i-mute ang TV naka-mute na, di ba? Paano mo... I think that's where the obsession is. We wanted to... Because of the word chances, people are so obsessed of asking people to do things that are done already. Yung mga pagmamahal na yan, ganyan, di ba? Alam mong wala ng spark, pinipilit pa din natin kasi akala natin. So, paano mo ba kung mahalin, tapos na nga kayo, di ba? So, pwedeng mahalin pero hindi siguro, may mga times talaga na hindi na, mga ladies and gentlemen. In grammar, the same thing applies. And I think generally, it always would apply in grammar. You cannot use the past tense of the verb when you ask somebody to do things now. So can you? That's normally a sentence that would require someone or something to be done. So can you fetch up things? Can you pick them up? Can you call somebody out? So you cannot say, can you call somebody? Oh my God. You cannot call someone you can call. I mean, you get me? Wag din natin, and I think this is one lesson too. Wag nating i-mix up ang present and past, diba? Everyone is guilty about it, and I share a little about it, diba? Normally, we crucify the present of things that they did not do in the past because we're so obsessed with it that we tell them na, ay, ayoko ng ganito, ayoko ng ganyan kasi dati ginawa mo naman yun. But it's kind of unfair, although you may have experiences with people, but this is a totally different person. You give them the benefit of the doubt and the chance to finally say to you that not all things are the same. Although, by trend, it might have happened to you and you're just guarding your head about it. But if you have given somebody the chance, then give it 100%. Anyways, chances are there because you have to take risks, right? So there, the same thing. Do not mix the present with the future. In one sentence, you cannot be past and present. It has to be, if you are using and if you're doing it, or if you're saying it and if you're writing it, for example, in your emails, do not put two tenses in one. So that's present, future, and past. So those are the basic tenses, but we have other tenses other than that. But basically, you cannot mix two tenses in one sentence. Okay? Especially the past and the present. Hindi natin pwedeng pagsamahin yun, dahil kasi it, more likely than not, it would go wrong. Yeah. And does not sound right. It really does not sound right. So, again, if your piece is just for enunciating, then please avoid saying, can you please, ganyan, box it. Pero pag sinot mo, can you please lang naman talaga. At can you please read it, yun lang naman talaga. Pero pag pinapronounce mo, can you please read it? Parang ganun, ang dami mo sinasabing T. So, huwag din na masyadong obsessed sa T, okay? So, but if you're the type naman that falls under talaga the grammatical slip, then please, by all means, if you are requesting something to be done now, you don't use the past tense. So for example, you're asking your team manager, your TL, your support, your mentor, your coach, the QA, like for example, can we please review? So you can say, can you please review it? No, you can't review it because you're asking somebody to do something that had been done already. That's totally wrong, 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 wrong. Okay? Alam ko na kahit pinalaki tayo ng mga sex bomb, hindi lahat ng bagay kailangang ipaglaban. Ganon. Alright. Now, so those are 4. And one last reminder though. I just learned this a week ago. So if you have been for the longest time been using this word, I think it's time that by standard English you learn that seniority, Tenurity. Wow, galing. Galing ko sa spelling. For self-praise, diba? No. Anyways, seniority is not a word in the dictionary, at least in the formal dictionary, okay? The correct word is tenure. So for example, instead of, for example, they would ask you, so how long have you been in the industry? So you would normally say, oh, so basically my seniority is 8 years. No, your tenure. You just use the word tenure. So that's Tenure. So that's the only word that's applicable. So you don't talk about people's seniority. So for example, kasi may mga ganyan meeting. So let's talk about which seniority affects the scores. You don't do that. You ask, so what tenure is affected? Is it 0-30, 30-60, 60-90, or 90-120 days? Or 1 year to 5 years? So we can only use the word tenure because on formal dictionaries you can't find the word seniority. Okay, so if you're asking for somebody's stay and length of stay, it's tenure, not seniority. Okay, very good. All right, so that's the only things that I want to share, because again, I think because I have been in this industry for quite some time already, it's best, and I would admit that I have not started as perfect as I should be. Well, I may be, sorry to appear mayabang, but I may be better than the people that I have been with, but basically I ain't perfect. I had issues with these things too. Thankfully, I have people brave enough to mentor me and say to me na, hey, if you really want to improve, then don't do this because it's not appropriate or it's wrong for some instances. So it helped me out a lot in my growth, and now I think it's time for me to teach back these things to you guys as a sign of, well, as a way of me saying thank you as well for those people who have helped me out a lot, and shout out to you guys. I am not who I am today if not for you guys and for your help. Okay, so again, also that's one thing to, please do not forget to be thankful for the people who have helped you out with your journey. They might be different people now, but remember those moments where you were helped, and you should be thankful because not everyone gets help. Even those that needs help are not helped. Okay, so be thankful for the help that we're getting every day. Sometimes the help are very ego specific. I'm not sure, I don't know, but it hits the ego sometimes that we don't we take it against the person. But if they really wanted, and you would always know that if their intention is just to make us better, then accept that. Sometimes a little taming of our ego is necessary for growth. Yeah, one has to give way. So if you want to learn, sometimes you just have to tame your ego, because no matter how good you are, there are still things that you need to learn, and you can only learn them if you are open for learning. Okay, people would always say na, boss, may kailangan ba matutunan? I think, yeah, every day I would always express it loudly to people for them to realize that I am not stopping at learning. I would always want to learn something new today, because I don't think that I would survive a week without learning something tidbits, whether it's in life, in what I do in my work, in how to improve, how to structure my sentences, how to communicate to people, how to approach people, those things, those tidbits or life lessons I get from a simple street sweeper and whatnot. So those are things that I really wanted to learn, because every day that's my intention, to always learn from things around me. Also be welcome if somebody would tell me that I have to learn something, because I think that's one thing also. Okay. All right. Speaking of that, if you wanted to know, or you want me to discuss some things already, or you want me to discuss things that have not been covered on this video, click subscribe and hit the like button first. Yeah, hit the like button so that we would have many subscribers, and you want to share the video, it's okay for me. This is not for popularity purposes, but I think this is one thing of me sharing to the world what are things that they need to do in life and as well as in their work, because work-life balance, right? Comment down below if you have other topics that you want me to discuss, or if there are challenges that you want me to do, then I am more than happy to do it, especially on a rest day that I don't have anything to do and I don't have pending work items to do. Then you can hit the comment section below on this channel or on Facebook if I would be pasting that, so that I would know, or you call my attention. You can send me a private message through Facebook or Instagram or Twitter if you have that. I'm not sure in YouTube if it's a thing, because I am new here, but if you have contents that you think would be helpful to you or to people, then we'll talk about it, okay? But for the meantime, please do not forget again to subscribe, and then hit the comments below if you like the content of the video, or if there are challenges that you want me to do. All right, thank you so much, everyone. God bless you. Again, this is your Hey Jude saying the best.